Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas from Exolvate Games team and welcome to a new C++ Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. Today we are reconstructing the Spatial Inventory System in C++ created by Ray's channel, so make sure to check out his video where he built this system with blueprints. Most of the logic and the brilliant work was done by him, and I'm here to reconstruct the system with you and explain some things. As Ray said, if you stay until the end, I believe you'll learn a lot. We will reconstruct this system in multiple parts. For now, I'm not sure, but there will be anywhere from 7 to 8 parts. In this part, we are going to make toggle inventory logic and also set up other basic things we will need for the upcoming parts. I'll make sure to explain everything we do so you can fully understand the process. I think I don't have anything else to say, so let's get to work. So guys, like every time, the first thing that we need to do is to create a new project. So basically we need a third person character project, so select in third person. Then we need to select C++ in order to get all the classes that we need for our project, and make sure that starter content is not checked because we don't need a starter content. And the very last thing is to name our project. I'm just going to name it grid inventory, and just click on this create button. And after a little bit of waiting, our Unreal Engine 5 along with our code editor is launched. And I just deleted these walls right here, and I can just delete this text right here. And we just have more space to work on. So the first thing that we need to do is to create some of the classes that we are going to use. So open your content drawer. Go to your C++ classes folder, and then go to your grid inventory folder. And in your situation, this can be named differently. It depends on the name of your project. My project is grid inventory, and that's the reason why it called the name like this, so grid inventory. And go to this folder right here, right click on it, and then click on new C++ class. So let me just check what classes do we need. And yeah, the first class that we need will be actor component. So select actor component, here are common classes, click on next, and I'm just going to name it inventory component. Okay, I think that's alright, that makes sense most. So just click on create class and wait a little bit. Okay, it succeeded. So the next thing that we need to create will be basically the empty class. So just right click, new C++ class, and select this none, or basically an empty C++ class. Click on next, and we are going to name it inventory data structs. Basically, this will be a class where we are going to declare our structures. Basically, we are going to declare a structure. The first one will be a lines structure, where we are going to store coordinates that will help us to draw lines for our spatial inventory. And the other one we are not going to declare in this part. We are going to declare it in the next, because we are not going to use that in this part. So just name it inventory data structs, click on create class, and we need to wait a little bit. Okay, the next thing that we need to create, so open your content drawer, is basically user widget. So right click, new C++ class, and go to all classes, search for user widget, and right here, select user widget, and then click next. The first widget that we need will be basically the inventory widget. So we are going to use toggle inventory logic to toggle basically this widget, and we are going to add that to a viewport when we click our button for input action, and we are going to remove it when we click it again. So basically we are just going to show it on our screen, and we are going to remove it when we want to show our inventory, and you get the point. So just click on create class. Okay, And yeah, you can name your classes how you want. I will name it like this because I think that this makes sense most, but that's your opinion. So open your content drawer and the next class that we need to create, just right click, new C++ class, go to all class, and that will be a user widget also. So click on user widget, then click next, and I will name it inventory grid widget, and basically that will be our widget where we are going to make a layout for our spatial inventory. I just name it inventory grid widget. You can name it inventory spatial widget. I don't know how you want. Like I said, that's your opinion. And this widget, we are going to attach it to our inventory widget. So for now, just create classes like this, and I will explain a little bit better later when we get to the point that we need to attach it and implement some of the logic and the elements, or basically the components in those widgets too. So just click create class, and yeah, again, wait a little bit. And this live coding is a little bit boring, just close it. And the last class that we need will be also user widget. So right click, new C++ class, all classes, and search for user widget. Click on user widget, then click on next, and that will be item widget. Basically this will be a widget that will represent our item that is in our inventory grid widget, that is in our inventory. So just create a class and wait a little bit. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have made all the classes that we need. Now go to your code editor and you will see this message right here. Basically just click on reload all because we have made some changes in Unreal Engine and we need to reload our code editor. Okay, so that will be it. The first thing that we are going to do here in our code editor is to declare a structure that we are going to use, and that will be a structure for storing our lines. So go to your inventory data structs. We can just delete this constructor and this structure. And also delete this from .cpp file. Okay, so let me see. We can delete these comments right here, and we need to declare our first structure. The first struct will be, like I said, the lines structure. So declaring of structure, you can do by typing use struct actually, and then type struct. Then we need the name of our structure, and I will name it fline, or basically flines, because that makes more logic. We are going to store lines and not a line. And let me just check what we need in my other project. So the first thing that we need is array. So you can declare array by typing t array and then less greater sign. And between those two signs, we need to specify a type that will basically every element in this array will have a type of this f vector 2d, basically the type that we specified between those two signs. And the first array will be named x lines. And we need another array that will be, just y lines. Okay, and we can just declare our constructor, just like this. Okay, and I think that's it. The other structure, basically the structure for our tiles, we are going to declare in the next part. We are not going to use that structure now, so yeah, I'm not going to do that right now. And I forgot one thing, that is generated useStruct body. So every time when you make a new structure, you need this generated useStruct body. so don't forget that. And I think that's it. The next thing that we need to do is to basically create components for our widgets that we made, and we are going to do that completely in C++. Okay, so the first widget is inventory widget .header, and first we are going to import some of the classes, and the first class will be U, not with caps but like this, U canvas panel, and this class, or basically a reference that we are going to use for our canvas panel component in blueprint widget later. So yeah, we are going to make a child blueprint class from this C++ class right here. So the next class is uBorder, basically a reference for our background border that we are going to use later. And the very last one is background blur. Okay, blur, and now we need to declare a properties, or basically we need to create those components here in our code. So we are going to type uProperty, and we need some specifiers. The first one will be visible anywhere. The next one will be meta equals bind widget, and I will explain this later what it is. So yeah, the next and the last specifier that we need is a category specifier, and we are going to give it a category of UI. It will be a type of uCanvas panel, and we need this asterisk, don't forget that because this is a pointer, and we are going just to name it canvas. Okay, uCanvas panel. That's okay, the red line disappeared, and we are going to copy and paste it two more times. Actually, the next one will be a type of uBorder, and it will be our background border. And the very last one property that we need to declare will be a type of uBackground blur, and it will be just blur, why not? Okay. And here under protected, so if you don't have this protected or this public, just type public. And yeah, for protected too, just type protected. And below the protected, we are going just to declare a native construct override function. And basically this native construct function will be triggered when our widget is constructed. Yeah, and we need to create a definition, so right click on it, quick actions and refactorings, create definition of native construct in inventory widget.cpp, and here we need to type super native construct. Okay, and semicolon on the end, don't forget that, otherwise your code won't work. I think that's it for our inventory widget class. So the next one will be inventory grid widget header file. So the first thing that we need to declare will be basically a public property. So let's just type uProperty. Not like that, uProperty. The first specifier will be visible anywhere, the next will be meta, and we're just going to type a bind widget, and like I said, I'm going to explain it in a moment. And the next one will be category equals UI. The first will be this variable or property will be a type of uCanvas panel, and it will be just the same name that we declared here in inventory widget, because why not? It's just a canvas, and we didn't declare or basically imported those class right here in our .header file, so we need to import those classes. So just type uCanvas panel. And we need also a class for our uBorder. And basically, okay, let me just finish declaring our properties. New property, basically we can just copy and paste it, so why not, it will save us some time. And it will be a type of border, and it will be a grid border. I suggest you to name those properties or variables same as me. And the very last one property that for now we need to declare will be a type of canvas panel, so another canvas panel, and it will be grid canvas panel. Okay, so yeah, the next thing that we need to do is to include some of the libraries. So we can just something like this. Okay, we can move it a little bit down, and we are going to type here a comment that will just be an engine. So this is a basic includes that when we create our class, it's just including by itself in order for our code to work. So we need to include some of the libraries. And we are going to just type imported, because why not? It will show us that we imported this or those includes by ourselves. So the first include that we need will be blueprint slash user widget.h. The next include will be components and just border.header. The next include will be also components, and we need to include our canvas panel. So just copy and paste slash canvas panel.h. The next one will be basically canvas panel slot, and yeah, and the last one that we need will be inventory data structs header. Okay, and I think that's it. Okay, so now we did all the work that we need for now. So go to your engine, and the first thing that we need to do is to compile our code. So just click on this icon right here, and let's see if there's any error. And the build failed. Let me see why. Okay, so inventory data struct header. Okay. So let's just go to our inventory data structs header. And yeah, I just noticed what is the problem. We need basically .generated.age include. So if you take a look, let's see, let's for example go to our inventory widget.header, you will see this .generated.age include, and that is included that every class needs to have, and it needs to be last. So go to your inventory data structs header, type inventory data structs .generated.age. Okay, and yeah, if you take a closer look, you will see that the red line below our generated restrict body disappeared, and now it's a grid line. So that's a good sign. Okay, and let's go to our editor. Let's now compile our code, because we have made some changes in our code editor. Let's see if there's any error, and there actually is. Maybe I just didn't save my file. So don't forget to click Ctrl+S on your keyboard. Okay, so let's compile again, and this time I really hope that our code is good, and basically it is. So no line modules, manual recompile triggered, And actually, no. So let's just close our editor. Let's build our code inside our code editor, and let's see if there's really any error. So just click Ctrl+Shift+B, and we succeeded. Let's see, but yeah, we succeeded, and we don't have any errors. So let's just click Ctrl+F5 to again run our project. And the reason why I did this, because I don't trust live coding much. And as you see, I just saved my file and closed my editor, and then build it in our code editor. So now let's get to the point. Okay, so open your content drawer. The next thing that we need to do is to create a blueprint child classes from these C++ classes. And we are going to do that first for our inventory widget. So right click on it, create blueprint class, and don't create C++ class, so just create a blueprint class. We didn't made any folder, just make it into content folder, and we are going to move it later. So not there, but there. I will name it bpw_inventory. And you can name it how you want. So just create the inventory widget class. Okay, and we need to do that for our inventory grid widget also. So just right click on it, create a blueprint class based on the inventory grid widget. We will name it bpw, or actually I'm going to name it like this. You can name it how you want. We are going to name it inventory grid. Inventory grid, okay, I spelled it well. Create inventory grid widget, click on that. Okay, and yeah, that's good. So now let's create a separate folder for our inventory files, or basically blueprints. We are going to make that folder inside the content folder. So just right click, new folder, and I'm going to name it inventory files. Inside inventory files, I'm just going to make a new folder, yeah, and I'm going to name it UI. So go to your content, or basically where have you made these two blueprint widgets, and just move it into our inventory files and folder, and then into our UI folder. Okay, so let's go to our folder, and now let's go to our inventory widget. If we try to compile it, you will see that we are getting these errors, and we need to basically create a widget, or basically we need to create the components that will bind to our properties that we have made in our code editor. So that's the thing about meta equals bind widget. We have made those properties and those variables, and now we need to make a components here in our blueprint widget that will hold the same names. So yeah, that's the thing. Oops, not that. So that's the thing about that bind widget. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to drag our canvas panel, and the thing that I named it canvas. Oops, not that again. So let's go to our designer. The thing why I name it canvas is to show you. Okay, never mind. The thing why I named it canvas is to show you that we need to have a same name that we specified in our code editor. So yeah, just rename it to canvas, and you will see that the error, or basically the error that holding this canvas error will disappear. So let's just compile, and yeah, if you take a closer look, now that disappeared. The next component that we need will be a background border. So just search for border. It will be a child component of our canvas, and we need to name it to our background border. I'm not typing background border. And the last thing that we need is a background, is basically the blur. So just type for blur, and this is background blur right here. So it will be a child of our background border, that is a child of our canvas, and we need to rename it to our blur because we specified that name in our code editor. So let's now compile, and yeah, if you take a closer look, our errors disappeared when we tried to compile it. So canvas panel is good. Click on your background border, and we need to click here on anchors. We need to select this right here, expand, and we need to here in offset right set it to 0, or basically reset it, and you can do that by clicking on these arrows too. So yeah, change a color of our border, and is there any padding? And yeah, there is. So just here type 0, and that will not actually fix our problem. I don't know why. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, this offset bottom is set to 30. We need to type it to 0 to set it actually to a 0. And let's compile it, because why not? Go to your background border, and here in appearance, and then brush color, I'm just going to set it to this black color. And I'm going to set it to 0.2. This is opacity. Just compile it, and this blur that will be a child component of our background blur, we are going to just set our blur strength to 2, and you will see this blur, and yeah, when we just open our inventory, this background blur will be shown, and that is something that Rates did, and I think that this is pretty cool too. So just save it, and then we need to go to our other blueprint widget that we have made. So go to our vpw_inventory grid, and we're getting the same errors, so we need to add those components. The first will be canvas, and we need to rename it to canvas. Okay, so the next one is a border. Yeah, actually a border. So just type search for border, and it needs to be a child of our canvas. And we need to rename it to our grid border. Basically, this is right here, this. And we are going to just type grid border. And the very last thing that we need is another canvas panel. So just drag it right here below this grid border. That will be a child component of our grid border, and we need to rename it to our grid canvas panel. Let's compile, and let's see if there's any errors, and there is not. And now we need to adjust some settings to our components that we have made. So click on your grid border, click on anchors, and select this center anchor. So here in position X, we just need to reset it to 0. And here in alignment, we need to type 0.5 and 0.5 in order to center it like this. And size, we can set it to 150. And here we can set it to 600. Okay, compile it. Okay, now we need to basically this padding right here, set it to 0, and the brush color set it to black, and then for the opacity I will set it to 0.25. You can adjust some other settings, and you can play with those settings too. That's on you. So let's compile it and save it. I think basically that's it. This size right here doesn't matter, because later we are going to change this size, and yeah, basically it depends how much rows and how much columns we want, and how big actually the tile size is. And that size of our grid inventory depends on that. You will see later what I mean. I will explain it a little bit better. So we can now close it. Now go to your blueprint widget inventory, and here we need to add our inventory grid, or actually, how I name it, inventory grid, but it's bpw underscore inventory grid, and we need to set it to a canvas. And here click on our inventory grid. We need to set anchor, so don't set anchor here below grid border, but here below this grid canvas panel. So that is this option right here. Click on anchors, click on the right, and now we need to these two positions, X and Y, reset to 0, just like this. And basically we are going to just set the alignment to 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, and we are going to set the position X to, let's say, minus 200, or basically let's say just minus 300. Okay, compile and save it. And now we can close it. So the next thing that we need to do is to create input action for toggling our inventory. So basically for showing our inventory and also for basically removing it. So open your content drawer, go to third person folder and open your input folder, then actions folder. And we need to duplicate one of these. I will duplicate IA underscore move. You can duplicate which one do you want. So I will name it IA just the inventory. IA inventory, okay. Click on it, and here in value type we need to switch from X2D to digital bool. Don't forget to save it, and we need to edit in our input mapping context. So go to parent folder or the of this section folder and open your input mapping context. Click this small arrow right here, and we need to click this plus icon right here. From drop down menu we need to select our input action that we created, and we need to specify the button that will trigger our input action. I will set it to I, and I think that I is some kind of standard for games, or basically for inventory in games. So just save it, and now we need to go to our code editor, and we need to actually go to our character class. So let me just close this here in games folder, then click this grid inventory, or it's just depend how your project is named. Click here on the source folder and then grid inventory, and click on we need to find our character class, and that will be this grid inventory character.cpp and .header. Let me see what we have here. Okay, so we have .header and .cpp. Okay, now we need to define a variable that we are gonna to make for our inventory action. So we can just copy and paste it like this, and we are going to name it inventory action. I think that is right. Now go to .cpp file, and here we need to, let me just delete those comments. They are a little bit boring. They can help, but I don't know. Okay, so now we can just copy and paste it like this, and we need to type inventory action. So for the first parameter of this function, we need our action or basically our variable for our inventory action that we have made, and the trigger event that we need is started, and the function that is this action going to trigger will be toggle inventory. So basically a function that will show it will show our inventory when we click our button for triggering this section, and also when we click again it will just remove from our screen. And okay, we don't have that function declared yet, so we're going to do that right now. I think that we can just yeah, I'm just going to delete this protected. I'm going to copy this public too, and here I'm just going to paste it like this. So in order, I don't want to have two publics and two protected section, and here below protected we can just declare our function that we need. That will be a u function. Or actually, do I need to specify? I don't need to specify it as a u function, so just type void. We named it toggle inventory, and semicolons on the end. Okay, I think that is okay. Let me see. Third line has disappeared, and it is now. We need to create a definition for that function. So right click on it, quick actions and refactorings, and create definition of toggle inventory in .cpp file. And not a good place for our function. We're going to move it down here. And now we need to implement the logic for our toggle inventory function. So let me see in my other project. Okay, and my OBS crashed. Okay, never mind. We will continue the work. So there are some things that I did, but my OBS crashed and I didn't notice. So okay, I will explain it again. So the first thing that we need to do is to go to our grid inventory character.h file, and we need to declare, or basically we want to create a widget that will be our inventory widget. So let me just see in my other project. Okay, here in under protected, we need to type just see, u property, and my microphone. And here under protected, we need to type t subclass of less greater sign, and we need to type user widget, and we are going to type inventory widget class. Below it, type user widget, and we need this asterisk right here. Just type inventory widget. So just like this, but this declaration right here, we need to add some specifiers. So we are going to type u property. The first specifier will be edit anywhere. So this edit anywhere specifier will help us later in editor to basically from the drop down menu select the blueprint widget that we want to be shown, and that is our inventory widget. I don't know, you may ask maybe why we don't do that with inventory grid widget, and the reason is because our inventory grid widget is already attached to our inventory widget, and when we add our inventory widget to screen, our grid widget that is already attached will be there. So yeah, edit anywhere, and the second specifier will be category, and we'll give it a category of UI. Okay, and we need to basically we need to get a reference of a player controller. So don't forget asterisks and just name it get player controller. So the reason why we need a reference of our player controller is because we want this to set the owning player of this widget right here to player controller, and the many other things that we are going to do that with that reference. The one thing that I suggest you not to do is to just declare it like player controller, because I think that there is already somewhere declared player controller reference, and you're going to override it. And you get the point, but I wanna say that you can just many errors in the future that can happen are not going to happen. Just be sure that you're not naming it the player controller, and just get player controller. So yeah, now we need to go to our .cpp file, and the first thing that we need to do is to get the reference of our player controller. So we need to store it in our get player controller variable, and we need to get player controller reference from gameplay statics library. We need to import it, or basically just include it. So include like this, and I think that keysmet slash gameplay statics, and now we are going to type gameplay statics get player controller is a function that we need. And let me see the parameters. So the first one is world context, and the next one is player index. The first one is a player context, and that is basically the world where our character is. And the second one is player index, and that will be 0. Now we need to create our inventory widget, but first we need to check if our get player controller is valid. I'm going to use this truthy value. Or falsy. So let me just show you how you can do otherwise. You can just type like this, get player controller not equal null pointer, and yeah, something like that. I'm sure that there are many other ways, but that's not the point now. So let's just now do the work that we need to do. So we need to basically get or do another check, and that will be check of our inventory widget class. So basically we are checking if we set our blueprint widget that we have made in the drop down menu in the editor. You will see later what it is. So we are checking if it's valid, and like I said before, you can do something like this, not equal null pointer. You can do for this inventory widget class 2 for this check right here. And the next thing that we are going to do is to get this inventory widget. So copy and paste it like this, equals create widget, because we need to create a widget when we begin our simulation, and we are doing that in the begin play. So create widget is a function that we need, and there is a red line. Okay, and the thing that we need to do is to include a library that will hold functions for blueprint for the blueprint widgets. Basically, we need to type blueprint and then user widget. Like I said, this library will hold all the functions that we need for our blueprint widget, and the red line will disappear. Basically it didn't disappear, but now we need to just fill these functions with parameters, and it will disappear. The first thing that we need to type is get world, because we need the world context, and the second is this class right here, not that, but this, and the red line has disappeared. And now we need to set the owning player to our get player controller. Basically the owning player of this inventory widget. So set owning player, semicolons on the end, otherwise you can get the errors that you didn't expect it. So just copy this get player controller and paste it like this, and I think that's it for now. Now we need to implement the logic for our toggle inventory function. And let me just see in my other project. Okay, toggle inventory. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to check if our inventory widget is in viewport, and is in viewport. We need this function right here. So basically we are checking if our inventory widget is attached to our screen. If it is, we are going to remove from our screen, so get a function that is called remove from parent. And if it's not in our viewport, or basically if it's not attached to our screen, we want that inventory widget to be added to our viewport. So basically we just need to get the function add to viewport. The next thing that we need when our inventory widget is not shown is to hide our mouse cursor, because when our widget is shown, we want from our mouse to get shown, because we want later to implement some drag and drop logic for our inventory, and basically that's the main reason. Get our player controller. This is another reason why we are getting this reference right here, this get player controller. So we need to get a function that is called show mouse cursor, and basically when we are removing it from our viewport, we want to not get shown, basically just type false. And I'm going to copy this and paste it right here too, and basically we are just going to set it to true. And the next thing that we need to do is to set the input mode when we are removing it from our screen, and when we are adding it. So I'm actually going to do that for when we are adding our widget to our viewport actually, and we need this get player controller, and yeah, again we are using that reference again. So the function that we need is set input mode, and when we are showing our widget, we want game mode and UI. So f input mode game and UI, and okay, and when we are removing it, we want game mode only. So let me just see what it's called. F input mode game only. Here it is. And I think that that's it for now. Or basically, this is the old logic for this toggle inventory function that we will implement for the rest of the tutorial. Okay, and the next thing that we need to do is, let me just close this down. Okay, so on the left side, you will see this Solution Explorer. We need to go to our games folder, and then this grid inventory folder, and actually we need to go to this source folder, and again grid inventory folder, and like I said, those names depends on the name of your project. In your situation it can be named differently, and we need to find now the file that is ending on .build.cs, and in my situation here it is. And the thing that I did, but my OBS crashed, so I'm just going to delete it. Now we need to add a new string here, and that will be a string of a UMG. Don't forget to save it, and then you can close this down. So I think that that's it. Now if your Unreal Engine is opened, you can just close it and basically go to your code editor and click Ctrl-Shift-B on your keyboard to build our code, and let's see if there's any error. There isn't. And now click Ctrl-F5 to launch our Unreal Engine. And let's see. So the next thing that we need to do, and that will be the last thing for this part of this course, and that will be, so go to your third-person character blueprint, open full blueprint editor, And here in the details panel, we need to search for UI, and you will see this inventory widget class drop down. So like I said before, we gave a specifier edit anywhere to our inventory widget class, so we can define what blueprint widget we are going to show on our screen, and that will be inventory. Like I said, when we are showing inventory, we are going to show our inventory grid widget too, because inventory grid widget is already attached to our inventory, and you get the point. And the next thing that we need to do is to also, here in the details, search for input. And here in the inventory action, we need to select our inventory input action that we created previously. So compile it and save it, and let's see. The results that we want is when we click our input action button. So basically in my situation it's I. Our inventory widget needs to get shown, and when I click it again, it basically needs to get removed from our screen. And let's see. So if I begin my simulation and click I, you will see that my inventory grid widget is getting shown along with my inventory widget as a background. And yeah, we succeeded basically. So that will be it for this part. I think that this is good enough, and this is long enough, because I think that we are already about 40 minutes in. For the next part, we are going to make basically the layout for our grid inventory, or basically spatial inventory. We are going to make it to look like a spatial inventory. We are going to draw lines. We are going to create a tiles and implement some of the logic that we will need. And basically, like I said, there will be about 7 to 8 parts in this course. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to leave a like, and the important thing that I want from you is if anything is unclear to you, feel free to ask in the comments below, and our team is going to just help you. So see you in the next part.